So here we are at Koi Oaks Koi Farm, and let's look at buying some fish. Paul tells me he's got around about 600 fish here. So I've had a quick look round previously and got some quite nice fish, to be fair. Okay, so I'm after a sankey or a shower, and I can't really see anything just yet, simply because of the bubbles and the reflections. We've got quite a few fish in here, and they're absolutely stunning quality. He's a monster, huge. Look at him. These two here, showers. Not sure about that one, a bit bland for me. Achiever, lovely achiever. Yeah, so these two bats here, like I say, they're out of my price range, but they're lovely fish. Quite a few vats around here. Now, I did pull one or two out of this one, and I came here for a sankey or a shower, and I got a spanner thrown in the works. Because what Paul did, he pulled out a sui, or sisui as it's called, and it threw a complete spanner in the works.
So
there we go. And there we go. So Sisui's coming home with me, and a sankey. Love him. If only he had the money. So he sells quite a few things here. Sells Nexus. And there's the Draco RDF. We also sell Aquasource Synergy Drum filters. I'd love to have one, but again, unless I win the lottery, I'm not going to have one. I think I might pick one of those up actually, the Nishikoi yearbook. I'll go and ask Paul about them now. And that's that. So when I get home, I'll show you the fish I bought. One's a sisri and the other is a sankey, or is it a shower? I'm not quite sure. So here we are back home. I've got the box in front of the pond ready for opening, just to see what koi we've got. But before we do that, I'd just like a quick review of the Oaks Koi farm and what I actually think of it. The fish farm itself is situated in Lancashire, in Preston. It took me about an hour and a half to get there, so it's obviously a 3-hour journey back and forward. So was it worth it? First thing I'd have to say, yes. I've never been there before. I've certainly been close by to Love Aquatics. Now, Love Aquatics have got a vast selection anyway, but overall I have to say that the Oaks Koi farm sell better quality. They also sell lower quality, there's no doubt about that, but overall the quality is that touch better than Love Aquatics. So why do I say that? The colouring. The stuff that I bought from Love Aquatics in the past are nice fish, don't get me wrong here, but the patterns tend to be a bit intermingled. The ones I saw at the Oaks Koi farm tended to have clearer colours, clearer patterns, and I would say a slightly better shape. I'm struggling to find words what I'm trying to explain here. The heads, let's put it that way, seem to be that much smoother. Now, I'm not saying Love Aquatics haven't got fish like that. They clearly have, but the selection at the Koi Oaks farm, in my view, this is my view, was greater, for better quality. There was one Kajako I saw there, apparently it had been sold, and I couldn't afford it anyway. It was lovely. I mean, the colours were gorgeous. Off the top of my head, I'd say it's about this particular one, for £495, I believe it was sold at, was around about 60 centimetres. The red in it was almost untouched. The white scaling in between the reds was just phenomenal. For me anyway. Now I'm not an expert on koi by any means, but when I saw that I thought, wouldn't I just love to be able to have that koi. It was a lovely fish, so whoever's bought it, well done, congratulations, you've got a cracking fish there. However, let's get back to the fish that I've purchased. I went there and they've got, how many vats now? I'd say one, we've got round about 9 vats. They've got 2 that are essentially outside, and from my own observation, slightly lower quality than the main big, I wouldn't say marquee, but the indoor one, where they were absolutely top notch. They really were. Now the prices, Paul is the guy who runs the place, were telling me weren't that bad actually. It's just unfortunately I don't have that sort of money. But some of them, the colouring, some of the showers and the sankies there, I pointed one out straight away and I just knew I couldn't afford it. But it was talking between £395 and £490. Now I've been to other places and certainly viewed online, and unless I'm wrong, the other places could well be charging just that touch extra premium. So for the quality side, again, this is from an amateur's point of view, which I am, the fish that Paul sells are actually very, very good value. At the lower end of the scale, he's got some younger fish, 3-4 inches, go for around about, I'm not sure, about £40 I think he said, maybe 5 inches, about £40, and they were quite nice. But the trouble with buying Nisai, I think you call it, is you never know what they're going to grow into, so it's a gamble. Yes, it's nice to grow them on to see how they grow in, and I've got 3 or 4 in my own pond that I've seen, you know, grow, and they're quite nice, but I wouldn't say they're great quality. For me, it's just growing them and nurturing them and seeing the colours develop. Having said that, none of the young fish that I've grown over the last couple of years could be classed as anywhere near good quality. But for me, it's just a hobby. So let's get back to the 2 fish that I've bought. Now, initially I went in there for a sankey and a shower. Or a shower, I should say. And I looked around in all the vats. The ones I pointed out I couldn't afford. So I told Paul what my budget was. I'm going to keep that to myself. And it wasn't for a top quality one. I couldn't afford £400, £500. I haven't got that sort of money. So he said, okay then, come round here and this is what I've got. And he pulled 6, 7, maybe 8 shower cum sankies out on the first one. And some of them quite nice. A couple I dismissed straight away. Not because they were poor, but because 2 or 3 of the others were clearly that much better quality. So it left me with a selection, and I whittled it down to 1. Now, at this point, I said to him, okay then, put that one there, I'm happy with him. He quoted a price. I said, but let's go into the other vats and see what we can pull out and see what sort of deal he can give me. And what he did, he put, and the second vat he came to, he pulled out a slightly better quality, I think, shower or sankey, I can't remember, but it was smaller, but the quality was better than the one I'd just chosen. And then he threw a spanner in the works. He bought out this fish that wasn't a shower or a sankey, but as soon as I saw it, I thought I wanted. So I had a conundrum then. I've got a fish, a shower or sankey that I wanted up there, but then this one I really wanted, and it wasn't either a sankey or a shower. It was a susui, pardon me, I think it was a susui, I think you call it. And for me, the patterns on the back were just lovely for the price. And I had the 3 colours anyway, which were dark orange, white, and like a bluey black down its spine. And what Paul said, okay then, if you buy both of them, I said, well, I haven't really got the budget. I've already blown it on the other one over there. He said, well, I'll give you a deal here. If you buy both, I will give you a deal. And I'm not going to tell you what price I paid, but when he told me the price, I thought, just do it. So we give a deal. It was a good deal. Paul is a very, very good salesman. He did the salesman thing on me, but it worked. And I've got no complaints whatsoever. It was my choice, good deal. And so when I split both of the 2 fish cost-wise, I'm thinking it's not too bad. Now, I've looked similarly on the internet, and I know the pricing for sizes of fish and quality, and it's not bad. It wasn't a bad deal. So fish-wise, and for Paul himself as a person, from what the short time I met him, are great. So the Oaks Koi Farm, absolutely spot on. If anybody's close by, up at Lancashire, or can make that trip, I highly recommend going. At this point, let's look at the fish. Okay, you can't see them that much. That's a siswi you probably just saw. Now the other fish, which I think is a shower, I can't remember now to be honest, are around about 35. Now the siswi we measured I think was at 37 centimetres. So you've got 35 for the shower Kumasanki, I'm not sure which one it is, and for the siswi 37 centimetres. And I really did get a good deal as far as I'm concerned. I paid the money and I was happy to part with it. Now they've been in here about 10 minutes now. I'm going to leave them for about another 10 minutes just to accustomise to the water temperature, and I'll start unwrapping. There's a container. I've put the water out of the plastic bags in there, plus a good 50-60% of the pond water, just to allow them to acclimatise further still. So the temperature should be the same now, but they just need to start getting used to the pond water. But let's have a look at the fish. There we go. So it says a shower. You can tell it's a shower because the black is below the lateral line, only a little bit there, plus it's black on the fins. You sometimes with a shower also get black on the head. I can't see any black on this one, to be honest, not on the head, but it's still a shower, just. And the other one is a susui, and as soon as I saw him I thought I wanted him. Definitely different. Still got my three colours that I was after, and I think it'd be a great addition, or two great additions to the pond. The shower, I've just measured him with a tape, I can't show you that unfortunately, is a good 40 centimetres, and we measured down at Oaks Koi farm, this is and he is a 37 centimetre specimen. So there we go, two new additions. I'm going to leave them in there just to swim around for another 5-10 minutes just to acclimatise the pond water. I'll take them out without any of that water just in case the water from Oaks Koi farm has got anything in it. I'm sure it's quite clean, but just to transfer it and keep the risks minimal, I'll transfer them without any water, well, the minimum amount of water transferring from this pot to the pond. So they're the fish, and I'm very happy, not just with the fish, but very happy with the price I paid. If you get time, go along to Oaks Koi farm, which is in Lancashire and Preston. I'll get you the address at the end of this video. So let's get them in. It's starting to spit rain, so I need to get them in now. They've been in there for a good 10 minutes anyway. Unfortunately this sock isn't porous, so I'm going to have to transfer just a little bit of the water into there, but I'll try and keep it to the minimum. Quite difficult, you don't want to go in. Okay, I'm tipping as much water out as possible. I don't want to hurt him. Okay. First one, and that was a susui. you go. He went in quite nice. Get rid of some of this water. And there we go. So let them get used to their new environment, and then we'll have a quick video. I'd like to go back to the shape of koi heads just for one moment. And like I said previously, I bought Japanese from the Oaks Koi farm. Now in the past I've also bought from Love Aquatics, which is just up the road from Oaks Koi farm, but they sell fish that are bred in Israel. Now in the pond that I have, I've got English koi, I've got Japanese koi, and I've got Israeli koi. So what I'd like to see is there a difference? Now this year, as you've probably seen from one of the previous videos, I bought a lovely Kijaku from New Forest Koi. Now that's English or British. Obviously bred from Japanese koi, but it was bred here in the United Kingdom. So is there a difference in quality? I think I can see the difference in the shape of the heads. Maybe that's my imagination, but let's see. So what I'm going to do now is point out the fish I have in my pond, and I'll tell you which is Japanese, which is English, and which are those from Israel or bred in Israel. So let's have a look. Okay, so the Kijaku is British. That's shower. The two showers are Japanese. The white Matsuba is Israeli. The Goromo, I'm fairly sure is Israeli. It's a bit of a mess actually. Looks like a boxer. His nose is bashed up. This there you are. That's a shower. He's Japanese. The Susui is him with the backbone there. He's Japanese. The Kinkikuru, he's Israeli. Now look at his head, it's not particularly smooth. Forget the colours for 1 minute, just the shape of his head. Now he's Israeli. Okay, that Ghost Koi there, the titanium coloured one, he's British. And again, there's a shower. He's Japanese, but look at the smoothness and the lovely shape to the head. That's Japanese. And if you look at the others, again, that's Sankey there, he's Japanese. I'm trying to get you the shape of the head now. Okay. Not bad, not perfect, but he's not a bad shape to the head. Okay, the butterfly is Israeli. I didn't get you a good view on him. There we are. Okay, the show is there, Japanese, but look at the shape of the eyes. The eyes are nice and flush. They don't protrude whatsoever. Now the Israeli eyes, you'll notice they've got a slight protrusion. Having said that, so is that Japanese one there, slight protrusion to the eyes. Now that's not Popeye, he's always been like that. Now he's just a British carp, bred with a koi. And here we go, Israeli. Japanese, British. Now he's got a pointed nose, so it's not quite even. Lovely fish, but it's a pointed nose. The best nose I've got here, and I'll show you now. Fellowship from the Oaks Koi farm yesterday, and he is the shower, and there he is. Not the best colours, not perfect, but he's got a nice smooth shape, a nice symmetrical body. And again, that show there is from Sunnybank Koi in Stoke-on-Trent, and he's Japanese. And he's actually turning out colour-wise really nice. I've had him for about 1.5 years now. And his colours are really nice. Not so much Benny, sorry, Sumi. There's more Benny than Sumi, but the Sumis turn into really ink like black. When I first had him, it was almost like the one I bought from Oaks Koi farm yesterday. So what do you think? Can you tell? The video there of the fish is a bit difficult because of reflections, and we've got the net on top of the pond, but at least I hope you could see the differences in the shape of the heads. In my mind at least, the Japanese fish, the heads were more symmetrical and even. The Israeli heads, those bred in Israel, tended to be a bit shorter, more boxery size, flat, like a short nose, and I don't know, the eyes would seem to protrude a little bit more. And I'd like to emphasise that's not because he got Popeye with an infection in their eye. They've always been like that. The Japanese koi, their eyes seem to be slightly further back and more symmetrical. I can't describe it anymore. And it could well be that over the years, well, when they've been bred in Israel, that little finesse has been lost from when they originally imported from Japan. I don't know. It could be my imagination, but I think I can tell a difference. Can I tell a difference with the colours? In all honesty, no. Colour-wise, that's down to the pond. I've had issues in the pond before and the colours went down the pan, but that's a water quality issue. That shower that I showed that I bought from Sunnybank Koi a couple of years ago, I had issues with that, and the colours went really dull. It went a bit ill. I didn't pull him out because I thought he was still okay, but his colours had excess mucus and the rest of it. And then this year, even with the issue I had 2 months ago, it's been great. Certainly the last month, the colours are just really popping out. Now, that's even in the hot summer months when the colours tend to dull down anyway. But I'm really impressed with how that Sumi's coming on with that Sunnybank shower. I'm certainly hoping with the shower that I bought from Oaks Koi farm, that will develop in the future. But time will tell. I just hope you have a look at your own fish and see if you can tell the difference. That's obviously if you know if they come from Israel, United Kingdom bred or Japanese bred. And with that, have a good one and enjoy your pond and garden.